Hello, and welcome to the World Conqueror 4 guide, ranking all free-to-play generals along with recommended builds based on my opinion. We'll start with Tito. Tito is a good economic general, however, not having a second economic skill is a bit of a burden. However, I personally find that the economic expert is the most valuable of all the economic skills. So maybe a fourth economic general? Definitely not a first purchase though. Terauchi is not good really. Accuracy is his only saving grace. There are far better artillery generals that are only a bit more expensive. Kuribayashi is a terrible infantry general. Do not use him. There is no usefulness in him. Krayer is a decent crowd tactics user. I wouldn't say he'd be your first purchase for a crowd tactic. There are better generals out there that do it better. But he is okay. The no mobility stars does hurt quite a bit though. He's modal, but gray. Nothing much more to say. Crossfire is okay, but this isn't a general you should ever buy. Another good crowd tactic user, but no speed also hurts. His Armored Assault in Rumor makes him more powerful and more useful as a support general. I would still say there are some other generals that do this better, but Messe is still a really good choice. Battleglio is another craptastic artillery general. Especially considering his price, he's definitely not worth it when Lieb exists. Auchinleck is a weird Rommelite. Not someone you should buy, really. If a tank general does not have Armored Assault, an artillery general does not have accuracy, or an infantry general does not have radar, they are lower on the list. So I would not recommend buying Auchinleck. Kuznetsov is a decent naval general. However, for discount naval generals, you get Horton, who is way better. He used to be good, but he's fallen from grace. Blamey, the bane of my existence in World Conqueror 3. In World Conqueror 4, he's a joke. Do not buy. Heinrici is he's not bad. Mostly just because of Rumor, but that's about it. Don't buy him as a first infantry general. Or just don't buy him in general, really, unless for whatever reason you really need an infantry general with Rumor, and if you do, just get Runestead. Bach is an overpriced tank general, and lacking Armored Assault makes this choice even worse. Before these new updates, he was okay at best, but now he's a joke. Fletcher is a decent aircraft carrier general. However, no Air Force leader is a big bummer. I would not recommend him, especially when there are better generals who do this job. Nazer is not good, really. Cheap with Raider, but no infantry leader kinda hurts. The terrain is okay. I wouldn't buy him personally, though. Slim only has terrain. Interesting. Don't buy, though. Economic general like Tito. I would say Tassinji is a better economic general than Tito because Tassinji can prepare the city more as cover, so that can help him defend himself. The Gaul is just rumor artillery, and there are better rumor artilleries out there. Don't buy. Judi can be a pretty good medic general. That is a niche usage, so I would not buy him early game. Buy him when you have a lot of medals to spare. We are now on the silver tier generals, and we start off with a banger, Lieb. He's been the second best artillery general in my opinion throughout his entire career in World Conquer 4, and that still remains true to this day. Add accuracy, and he's, like I said, the second best. Chukov, very niche. I wouldn't buy personally. If I had to make a choice on skill, Crossfire. Halsey, best free-to-play aircraft carrier general. The fleet leader and sailor work great, especially on elite force carrier units, which have 2 range for counterattack. For his additional skill, add Air Force leader. He's great on an aircraft carrier, and he works just fine on cities. Not your first air general in my opinion, but certainly your second or third. Batutin he's fallen from grace, unfortunately. If you really want to use Batutin, I would say use Armored Assault as his additional perk. He won't be able to outdamage other silver tier tank generals like Bastico or List, but he is cheaper compared to those two by a lot. Sen LR used to be good, unfortunately fallen from grace. I used to be a big fan of Sun LR. Armored Assault for his additional perk. Alexander is a very niche general. Personally, I would use Crowd Tactic on him. The crowd and the crossfire skills, they work pretty well together. But this is a very niche general that can be pretty expensive, so I wouldn't recommend this build normally. Nanonin is another really good artillery general. You can do planes for consistent damage, so he's a little bit weaker than Lieb, considering Lieb has rumor. Or you can be bold and do inspiring, so Nanonin can have better damage than Lieb, but at the cost of consistency and also still no rumor. Or you can do rumor on Nanonin, and then he's just Lieb but without planes. Up to you. Leclerc, decent, but way better options. I would do Armored Assaults. Anders, like Leclerc, decent, but better options. Panzer Leader or Crossfire, your choice. Govorov, if he had 2 additional perks, he'd be second best. But unfortunately, 1 additional perk and 2,135 medals, don't buy this guy. For a perk, if I had to decide, accuracy is probably the only viable option. Julius. Don't get Julius just because Pavlov exists. And Pavlov is free. That's the only reason why Pavlov is better. Armored Assault on Julius, of course. Bastico, expensive, but 3rd best free-to-play tank general. The retaliation perk can make up for the lack of an AA medal. I would run Inspiring for maximum damage. However, if you want, you can run Blitz. The retaliation can still make up for the lost damage from Inspiring, but I personally think Inspiring is the better option. Nagumo, fallen from grace. As an aircraft carrier general, Halsey does a better job. As a naval general, you have a lot of better options, 2 of which are free. If you want to go Navy, I would pick Inspiring or Explosives. For aircraft carrier, I would do Air Force Leader. Clark, used to be third best, but new updates have had him fallen from grace. Obvious skill is explosives, in my opinion. Or if you want to be funny, do Fleet Leader. Timoshenko. By far the mascot for crowd tactic users. I would personally add Rumor for his additional perk. That way, not only can he buff allies, he can also debuff enemies, which helps his allies even more. List is the most expensive tank general in the game. And if I have to say, maxing everything out, I think he's probably the most expensive free-to-play general in the game. Obvious choice is Panzer Leader for his additional perk. Fourth best, in my opinion. Bastico with his retaliation and inspiring, if you do that, bumps him up. Simmons, just like Anders, he's alright. AA for his additional perk. I would say though that Anders is better just because he already has AA, so he can do Crossfire or Leader. And plus, Tide of Iron, I think Tide of Iron would be better than Ace Forces. Hot take, I know, but especially on tank generals when experience is really easy to get because you're just mowing down units, I think Tide is the better option if I had to choose. Modal, better Crossfire gens out there, but if I had to pick a skill, probably just AA. He's decent. He's not horrible, but he's not good. He's just decent. A lot of these silver tank generals are decent, which is a shame because some of these guys can be really fun to use, but World Conqueror 4 isn't the most anti-meta friendly game. But I try my hardest to break the meta. Speaking of breaking the meta, Mountbatten. Horton exists. Darlin exists. Yamaguchi exists. Raider exists. Honestly though, if you want, you could replace Raider for Mountbatten, honestly. Mountbatten will do a little bit less damage, but he is far cheaper. So honestly, yeah, I'll say it right here, right now. Mountbatten beats Raider, in my opinion, because of how cheap he is compared to Raider. Mikawa is interesting. At max level for his Night Raid, he has a 60% chance for enemy units to not fight back when he's commanding fleet units. It's interesting. Personally, I have never used Mikawa before because Darlin, Horton, Yamaguchi, and Raider exist, but he can be useful. I don't know how useful 5 naval generals can be, but if you want, you can use him. I'd go Rumor, probably. Brauktish. Hot take, but I'm gonna say it now. Brauktish beats Nenonen. A lot of people that I've talked with say Nenonen beats Brauktish, but I personally think Brauktish beats Nenonen because he has Inspiring and Mountain Fighting, and these two skills work together. Before, Terrain used to not work when the Leader skill was triggered, but now it does again. For some reason, ET spaghetti code. So he can potentially have the best damage of all the silver tier artillery generals. Add accuracy for his additional skill, of course. Smiggly. I don't know. Just don't get him. I don't. Crossfire. I don't care. I don't care. Leslie. Wasted potential. if you just had armored assault over desert fighting, you would be really fun to use, especially with your fortification skill, but unfortunately you get desert, and that's a bummer. Just imagine armored assault and then adding crossfire. Really fun. Castle Ring, interesting general. I personally wouldn't buy him, but he is sort of like the Yamamoto of Silver Tier in the terms of artillery air hybrid. Accuracy or carpet bombing, up to you. Honestly though, he's sort of like Hartman in World Conqueror 3. Not as good though, but interesting general. Zhang Zizi. Fun general. Crossfire is very fun skill. Accuracy as his additional perk. I know a lot of people say that Zhang Zizi beats both Browtish and Nenonin, but I think that's just people overhyping Crossfire. Crossfire is good, I know that. I love Crossfire, but I think people are just really overhyping Crossfire, in my opinion. It's not this godsend ability that can just make any craptastic general become goated. Especially considering how it only works on counterattack, and there are some skills that can bypass Crossfire. The potential damage, when considering both attacking and then counterattacking, maybe outdamages Browtish with Mountain Inspiring, but I don't think so. I think Nenonin is lower than Zhang Zizi, but I don't think Zhang Zizi is better than Browtish. And of course, leave it trumps all. Iguchi, fun infantry general. This counter skill is, I'll be honest, I haven't used Iguchi, so I can't say what exactly the counter skill does, which is a unfortunate oversight on my end, but ignoring counter, explosives for his additional skill. Yamashita, but silver tier. Pretty good general. You could buy him for your first infantry general. No one would bat an eye. But in terms of damage, Yamashita does do better. Vasilevsky, Raider. After Yamashita and MacArthur and Iguchi and Clark, really, past two infantry generals, I don't think you're gonna need any more. Challenge Conquest could be allowing a third, but 4 and onward is just a waste of money. Don't buy. Penguin. I mean, Peng DH. Same thing with Vasilevsky. He's a decent medic general, but I think Judy does that better. Mannerheim. Interesting infantry general. Better options out there, but interesting. Yeah. It can be good, especially on Hawkeye, but there are some better infantry generals. But Mannerheim is fun. I would say, in my personal opinion, I would rank Mannerheim as probably third, just because of how fun he is to use. And no, I'm not biased because I'm Finnish. What makes you say that? Bradley. You got 5 artillery generals that are better than him. Why? Just why? Artillery, crossfire, I don't know. I don't care. Just like with Smiggly, I don't care really. Arnold. The other good air general in Silver Tier. He has Rumor, which can protect him, which gives him a bonus over Halsey, but Halsey gets the bonus with Aircraft Carrier. I would say though, Arnold is the better option of the two. One in economic skill, that's probably your best bet in economic skill. Horton, free naval general. I mean, the new update says it can sell generals, like these free generals you get. So if you don't want to use Horton for whatever reason, you can sell them, I guess. I don't know if you'll get medals, but I don't know. I did rumor. You can also run Sailor if you want. Doubting. The mascot of economic generals. 2 economic skills, I would say Technology Expert is the better choice for Doubting. His air skills can still be used, but when weighing economic or air, I think having the economic is better than giving him carpet bombing. And you'll have plenty of other air generals that can do pure air better. Darlin is fun. I like Darlin. His leadership perk buffs both himself and allied naval ships. Because I'm an idiot, I would do Wolfpack, because that's double buff, funny, good. Pavlov. Panzer leader. Just Julius, but free, so better. And now we're at gold. We're almost done. We'll start with Graziani. For damage, way better options. But Rumor, Blitzkrieg, he's good there. Rumor Blitzkrieg is his only viable set in my opinion. Yamashita. Big fan. Right now I have explosives because I've restarted recently, so I'm doing Frontier. But once I get the Pershing achievement for Frontier, I'm going to switch explosives for Inspiring because I really like Yamashita on the Brandenburgers at level 5 and up. Very, very fun general to use on that. Pad. I've tried really hard to think of anything that he can be good at. Blitzkrieg Rumor, there are just so many better options out there that you can choose from that doing that for Patton, you're just... No. I've been thinking Armored Assault and Crossfire, and then having him on the T-44 tank at level 6 and up. That might be his only way of being okay at best, but honestly though, you're gonna use your T-44 for either an air general so we can just zoom around, or on Teemo so we can buff all the units he wants. You have to try really hard to make Patton good. Really, really hard. And at that point, you're just hurting yourself, and you're not me, so don't do it for the bit. Montgomery. Funny general. He's funny. In terms of damage, even with his elite bonus, I still think Rokoskowski out-damages him. Now, you're gonna probably kill me for this, but for the recommended skills, Armored Assault and Air Force Leader. I said it. Air Force Leader, Armored Assault. The 5-star Air is just way too good to pass up on a tank general that isn't obviously going to do a lot of damage. Even with this elite bonus, I don't think he's better than Rokoskowski. I think Rokoskowski having the inspiring is better. Of course, you can say, oh, the crossfire, you put it on the T-44, eh? Yeah, but I don't know. You can do Armored Assault, Panther Leader, put them on the T-44, be normal, you know. I'd say be normal and just do that, but if you want to be bold, if you want to be anti-meta, Armored Assault, Air Force Leader. Make use of that good speed, make use of that 5-star air, make use of that crossfire and AA. Make use of all that. Oh, fun fact, Planes works on cities. It's like he was made to be the tank air hybrid. Why can't you be good at that, Patton? Yamamoto. I still think Yamamoto is the best air general, even with Chenop, just because Yamamoto can also be artillery, and I really like aggressive air generals. I think a passive air general that's just me though. I prefer an aggressive air general to a passive air general. As you can see, I did accuracy and artillery leader. If you're stripped for cash, if you're stripped for medals, but you're gonna buy Yamamoto, you could do like fleet leader and sailor or early warning if you want, but personally I would go with the artillery set. Fun fact, the artillery set was not something thought of by the community. Everyone was thinking naval skills until me and a few other people on Discord did artillery set, and I was the first person on the Discord to think of it. And it's become so widespread that it's become meta now. Isn't that sad for us anti-meta people? We're so good at our job that we hurt our mission. I'm gonna blame Patton on this. Yeah, fuck you, Patton. Fuck you. Editor, keep that in. Raider. Like I said earlier, if you want to be cost effective, Mount Bon is a better option. But if you don't mind spending more medals, Raider is the better option. But cost effective wise, Mount Bon. I did Sailor to make use of the early warning and the depot. All those combined together is pretty good. And inspiring too. You can do explosives too if you want. I did inspiring because potential better damage. Guderian. What's there to say about Guderian? Best free-to-play general in the game. Some people think that he's better than Manstein still. Personally, I'm neutral on that front. Skill-wise, there are a few sets you can do. Inspiring, Rumor, that's the best. Support with damage. If you want to go full aggressive, Plains Inspiring. If you want to go aggressive, but also still be powerful on the defense, Crossfire. Plenty of different options for Guderian. Hell, you can run explosives if you want. Stick with the old meta. Yamaguchi, fun general. Fleet leader, explosives, or sailor, or inspiring. MacArthur. I'd say Higuchi's better, but if you like the better speed, for whatever reason, you can put MacArthur higher. Plus, MacArthur has some nice defense, has a nice defense skill, even if it is just only for artillery. Raider and explosives, or inspiring, if you want MacArthur on Burger, or replacement and crowd for a funny medic general. I would not recommend this because there is a better option out there. Rokoskowski. As I said before, I think even with the elite bonus, I still think Rokoskowski is better because of the inspiring, but I can obviously see the point of the crossfire. Personally, I'm gonna run Air Force Leader on Monty, so yeah, don't listen to my take on that. Like I said, Air A and inspiring. Donuts. He's still good. He's obviously still good. But he is very expensive. And as a Wolfpack user, Darlin exists, and also Horton, and also Mikawa. A lot of other options that are cheaper and still get the job done. Donuts is still good, but if you want to be cost effective, you got those other options. I would run Early Warning and Explosives, or Sailor, or Inspiring. Oh, speaking of that Medic General, Hornstead. Rumor and Crowd Tactics. Medic Generals aren't going to do damage, so you might as well go full support. Now, you can also do an Eco Runestead, which also works too. Yeah. So, Eco for Medic. I don't like damage Runestead. I don't think it's good. That's something you can do, Patton! You can be a craptastic Eco General! You'll be expensive as shit, but you can do it! Wow, look at that. You finally found something you can do good. But anyone with 2 additional skills can do that, so you're not special. You never were, Patton. I hate you, Patton. I hate you. Hateful Patton tangent aside, Konev. Rumor and Explosives, or Inspiring, or Planes, or if you want to be a little crazy like me, Crowd Tactics. I think Crowd Tactics on Konev is a good choice. He's got the damage already, he's got Rumor, and add Crowd to have those 2 skills mesh together, or you can get rid of the Rumor and go Planes or Inspiring. Up to you. He can have a lot of different skills. It's all up to personal preference. Rommel's fun. Damage set, of course, Panzer Leader and Inspiring. I personally don't think the idea of Blitzkrieg over Inspiring is something I like. You could obviously like it, and no problem with that. If you want to run Blitz, Panzer Leader, Rommel, go right ahead. I prefer damage though, especially since Rommel's wanting to do damage with that elite bonus. I see some people doing Panzer Leader and Rumor, and I just don't think that meshes well. Offensive with a defensive skill like Rumor, I don't think that works. Or you could be an old meta and do Blitzkrieg and Rumor. How would you do that? I don't know. Would you be insane? Probably. Would you be laughed at? Definitely. Would I support you? Yeah, I'd probably support you. Limits. Eco General. Even with his discount, there are better naval generals out there. So I would do Eco. For my rule of thumb for Eco Generals, I'd say 1 Eco Tech General is enough. 2 Eco Industrial Generals is enough, and then the rest you can just do Eco. That's where you can use like Tito or Tassinji, and yeah. Of course, all those Eco Generals, you're only going to use them for Challenge Conquest. For events, you would probably only use 1 Eco General, and if I had to choose, I would say I would do Eco and Tech. That's probably the better option compared to Eco or Industrial. And last one, Chenault. He's interesting. There are some different ways you can use him. The inspection perk lets him disable enemies from counterattacking. You can use Chenault as a CAS, a close air support unit, shooting dangerous targets like CC Kluga, or a CC Yamaguchi that's sitting on a port and ruining your speed run, or something like that. A big threat that you want to save your health on. Doing that you can do the full eco set if you're going to use Chenault as Cass. If you're going to use Chenault as another air general to, destroy cities, swoop in, and all that stuff, I would say carpet bombing and then industrial expert. So up to you if you prefer triple eco or double eco with carpet bombing. And those are all the generals. Now that all of that's out of the way, I'm going to do my quick ranking. Tank, number 1, Guderian. Number 2, Rommel. Number 3, Bastico. Number 4, Rokoskowski/Monty. Number 5, whoever you didn't pick for 4. Artillery, number 1, Konev. Number 2, Lieb. Number 3, Brautish. Number 4, Zongzizi. Number 5, Neruden. Infantry, number 1, Yamashita. Number 2, Higuchi. Number 3, Mannerheim. Number 4, MacArthur. And number 5, Clark. Navy, number 1, Yamaguchi. Number 2, Darlin. Number 3, Raider/Mount Baden. Number 4, Horton. Number 5, Mikawa. Air Generals, number 1, Yamamoto. Number 2, Chenault. Number 3, Arnold. Number 4, Halsey. And number 5, Dowding. Eco Generals, number 1, Dowding. Number 2, Runstead. Number 3, Nimitz. Number 4, Patton. Thanks for watching this video in full if you did.